Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a program manager who recently joined the team with the goal of helping our customers, you all, adopt best practices for your agile, waterfall, and hybrid projects. I thought that there was some perfect way of running your projects and that I was going to help you learn how to do it. And to get a sense of where teams were stumbling, I interviewed about 20 different customers, and I was surprised to find 20 different right ways of running your projects. What I learned from expert project managers at our customers is that the right way of running a project is the one that makes sense for you, your teams, and your company. But one of the challenges that you do face is that different teams each use their own set of tools. And so the challenge that you have is that it isn't a matter of applying some single process, but you need a way to help you organize all this work in a place to make it easier for you to do things like planning, reporting status, and performing forecasting activities. I'm Alexander, and I'm going to show you how you can use Project Online to help you do that. So as someone who works with projects every day, when I come into work, I open up Project Online. And what it is a web app. It's been around for a few years now that allows me to create and organize my projects and to manage my tasks and do things like approve changes. So as I get my day started, what I want to see is just a high-level overview of where all my projects are. I have simple stoplight KPIs of a few metrics that are important to me, and I can get a list of all my projects and I can quickly jump in, see how they're doing. All of this can be totally customized, and so I have other reports also that show me things like giving me a sense of where all my projects are and corporate workflows. Having everything in Project Online also allows my company to apply compliance and different governance flows around my projects. So when doing things like creating a project, we can have certain templates that are standardized across the organization, whether it is for application development or building a new physical facility or executing things in an agile way. So let's go through a hypothetical scenario. I have a customer that has come to us with a need to help them manage their inventory on a mobile app to help all their workers just be more efficient when working on the floor. So I'm going to work with marketing and my engineering teams to help plan and execute on this project. So what I'll do is through Project Online, I'll go ahead and create a new project. And this gives me some simple forms that can be used to standardize the way I create these projects. So then that way, when my manager wants to either make decisions around approving them or getting more information, she can jump in here and help get a sense of what's the ROI of this project. So we'll just call this one our inventory access app development. And what this will do is create the project in Project Online, and then it will drop us into a work breakdown structure where I can work with marketing to create what's the high-level plan. So in this stage of the project, we're just identifying different major work streams. We'll have a planning work stream that marketing will work with. I will work with marketing on. Then as we go into execution, this is where I'll be spending most of my time helping run the development in a way that's more agile. We'll have some marketing will then own some marketing and promotion activities. And these will be strongly date-driven because they're all getting ready for a major corporate conference. So what they can do is have things like dates in here. And they can run this part of the portion of the project in an agile way or in a waterfall-like way. And because we're using the web app, the teams that I work with don't actually need to install software to be able to jump in here. So the marketing team can just go online and start filling out some of the details of what they need to build. So we'll fast forward a little bit to the execution phases of the project. So for this, I like to jump into Project Desktop. Project Desktop offers additional tools to help me manage my sprints and execute on them. And it's a place that I'm pretty comfortable working in because I am a project manager. And so taking a look here, I've created a timeline that helps me identify and just get a high-level overview of where we are in the work streams. You can see also that the marketing team has filled out some of their different key deliverables and have identified different predecessors, dates, and as you can see, having that information there has started to build out a Gantt chart. I, on the other hand, have been managing things in sprints. And sorry, let's get back here. And let's see. I'm just going to try to reset the view here. And so I've been assigning work to different sprints and having people go through and execute on them. So what we'll do is for planning our next sprint, we'll go into a sprint planning view. And here we have a list of the remaining product backlog items that we need to execute on. So I see some of the items here, but it doesn't really give me enough information. So what I can do is go ahead and customize these cards. And I can put any information in here that's sitting in my project. Because we're measuring costs in terms of durations, I'm just adding that field to here. But we can also add other fields that are standard out of the box, such as percentage completion or measuring start times or end times. And this can be customized to have things like if I want to manually, for example, track the risk of an item. If I think it's high risk, I can add that. So starting with duration, we'll just start doing the plan for these different backlog items. And for that, I'll just drag them into the sprint. And when we go back to the Gantt view, we can see that they've been assigned a sprint. So the next step is to find people who are going to work on this. And for that, I'll take a look at my team planner. In here, I have a list of all the different people that I've assigned to the team. Now, because we're using Project Online, I can see the availability of people, not just within this project, but across all the projects in their organization. So here I can see that Marta has, during this upcoming sprint, is actually going to be committed to working on some other projects. So I better not give her any work because she'll be overbooked. But I see that Caleb, Krista, Christopher, and the rest of my team are all able to take on some work items. So I'll go ahead and add them to it. And so at this point, I've planned my sprint, I've started getting resources assigned to it. And so then that way, when we're actually in the sprint, we can go in and manage our work in a way that's using a Kanban board. So I can do things like, okay, say what's next up, keep track of what's in progress, and see what's done. And all that gets reflected in my Gantt chart. For example, this update customer record's been completed, and now I can see that in here. In the overall project list, I can see that that's done. So projects help make it easier for me to work with my teams, and also the teams in marketing. But at this point, what we've done is just introduced another tool into the organization. So let's see how Project Online can make it easier for my manager to do her job, to see what the health of the portfolio is like there. And doing that, it helps her see the value in actually adopting Project Online. So when my manager, Heather, comes into work, she wants to see what is the health of her overall portfolio. There's a Power BI content pack that you can download, and it gives you a set of reports right out of the box. So all you have to do is download the content pack from GitHub, connect it to your Project Online instance by just answering a single question, and then out of the box you'll be able to get all these rich dashboards that give you insight into the portfolio health, your project health, and also the resources and costing of your projects. So when she comes in, she can get a sense of just, again, using simple stoplight metrics, what's the health of her project? Because it's Power BI, it allows her to click and filter things easily, and we can see for projects that are in flight, what is their health? And then there are other different reports that can give her slices and dices of the same data. All of this is refreshable and refreshes automatically. And so she can see for different project classes, in this case, at risk, on track, for example. She can see what's the state of the projects and what's the project variance. Are they over budget? Are they under budget? And she also wants to get a sense of, well, how are her resources in her organization being used effectively? Well, there's a report for that as well, where she can see, are people being given enough work? Are they overutilized? And she gets that all in a heat map chart. And if she wants to see how people's time is being spent, she can actually have all the work pivoted by person and the work items that they're working on. And what are the milestones for that? And how much progress is she making? Because we're using Power BI, we can also see we can start performing some forecasting activities using these reports. And so in the future, with the pipeline of projects that we have, we can start estimating, well, what is going to be our demand of resources? So we've shown how using both Project Online can make not only my work easier as a PM, but it can also help me work more effectively with my teammates in marketing as well as in engineering. And it can help my manager actually perform some of the responsibilities that she has. So if you'd like to learn more about how to use Project Online in your organization, feel free to stop by the booth. We've made some announcements this week, and I'd be happy to show you some more cool stuff that we can do. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you.